Hi, guys, and welcome to the live stream today on Friday. I'm so excited to be here. And I'm so excited you guys are here. And I appreciate Wendy reminding people to like this video and any of the videos that you watch on the channel. Or if you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe because you'll get a notification almost as soon as I drop a new video. And I have two out this week, which is pretty cool. It's pretty fun. And nice to see you, Heather and Wendy and Gayla. You guys, I just love having you here. And I do really appreciate these live streams myself. I look forward to them. I'm super bummed that I can't have one next week because my family's visiting. Well, I guess they kind of got to take precedence. And then I have a conference to get to. So no next week. Anyways, I want to share this week's video. The first one is all about dialogue, and it's a 5-part test for how to do dialogue. I should back up and talk about the writing sprints. I'm obviously scattered. It's Friday. So the writing sprints, if you've never been here before, we write really fast for about 15 minutes so that you don't think about it, you don't overthink it, you don't overanalyze it. I just talked to somebody today that is overanalyzing their book. And when you get stuck like that, you really kind of just need a little push, maybe from yourself, maybe from me, to just get you to write again. So if you're watching us on the replay or you're watching it live, I appreciate you being here. And like Wendy said, don't forget to like and subscribe. So that I just shared the link for the dialogue video, which is a 5-part test that I kind of run my dialogue through as I'm writing it, because I think some people get caught up in just putting dialogue on the page and not really thinking about why or how it's going to impact that particular section of the page. And there's a lot of dialogue examples in there. I don't pause to go over them because I have another video where I do that. But yeah, there's lots of examples for you guys there. And then I just loaded another video like less than an hour ago. And this is the answer to the community post, if you guys didn't already see it. This is if I posted how many books you guys thought I sold, and I am very flattered by the people that think I sold 80 million. That's kind of Stephen King territory. It is 8 million. More actually than 8 million, because I didn't count everything because I don't like math at all. And you know what, Kayla? I totally forgot. I'm going to put a note there for the checklist and the video. So last night in the mastermind group, we were talking about my 10 things to look for in a scene checklist, and that's something I'm going to load for the masterminds only in the behind the scenes part of the Circle community. So we have a Circle community that anybody can join, and it's free. And yes, Heather, thank you for the 8+ million books. It's amazing that I have sold that many. I mean, back when I was struggling to sell my first one, 10 books in 8 years, I was a slow learner. I never in a million years imagined that I would even sell 1 million books, never mind 8 million and more. Because like I said, I don't like math and I didn't add the rest of the royalty statements, and plus I'm lazy. So it's just astounding to me. And I'm so excited about it. That only counts the books that I personally have written and brought out under my name. It does not count any of the books that I have ghostwritten or any of the books that I have co-written with some of my clients. This is entirely my fiction career, none of my nonfiction. I've never added up the nonfiction, so I have no idea there. Plus, I don't always know when I ghostwrite a book for somebody, they don't give me their sales numbers. They don't want anybody to know that I ghostwrote it. But I do know I have a couple New York Times bestsellers on my ghostwriting resume, which is cool. Nice to see you, Silver Ollie, and everybody. So I'm going to work on the Writing Compelling Fiction workbook. Here's Writing Compelling Fiction. The workbook is coming out next month. I'm going to submit it to formatting before we're done here today. All I'm doing is going through and adding QR codes to go to videos that go along with that section. So it's going to be like a mini course. And it keeps getting longer every time I work on it. So I'm definitely going to have that out next month for you guys. So let's get our first sprint going, and it's going to be 15 minutes, and I'll play a little music like I normally do. You guys write, and if you have writing questions in between, just drop them in the comments and I'll answer them as soon as I come back. I'm also going to put up a little writing prompt, and today's is because it goes with the 8 million sales, right? Write a few paragraphs about your character having a huge success or win. And how does that change them? Does that change their lives? Does that change them, make them more cocky or, or less secure, maybe more insecure? I have a video on my channel about how the first time I hit a bestseller list, it completely paralyzed me and I couldn't write for a little while because I was like, oh crap, they're going to want me to do that again. How did this book become a bestseller? And I still to this day don't know exactly what made that book a bestseller and the next one not. There's a million factors at play for bestseller status. But that success, I had to learn to just kind of put it out of my mind. And for me, I just didn't look at numbers. I don't look at reviews. I don't look at numbers. I don't want to know, because anything good or bad will kind of just keep me from working. And so when it comes to my fiction, I very much protect my creative side, my insecure creative side, because everybody has an insecure creative side, I think, by not looking at the numbers. I just happened to do the 8 million because one of my publishers had told me how many I had with them. And I was like, wow, that's a lot. Maybe I should see what it all adds up to. And so that's why I knew that. But I'm certainly not going to focus on that and think about it every single time I write a book, or I'd never get anything done. So let's work for 15 minutes, and I'll make the little prompt bigger so you guys can see it, and play a little bit of music, and drop a question if you have it. And I will see you guys in 15 minutes. That was just fast enough for me to finish the edits on the workbook and send it to my formatter. So that is awesome. I'm so excited about that. I hope you got, what did you guys write on and how did it go for you? And Trish, I wanted to say thank you for replying. I saw the comment come up where you replied to the person who complained about the video going too fast. I appreciate you doing that on the channel. Um, Miss Blogger asked, how does the character's misbeliefs stem from their deep emotional wounds? And what if my characters don't have a traumatic past? As I said in a bunch of, oh, let me pull myself up here. As I said in some of a bunch of videos, and I've been saying it more often in videos, it doesn't have to be some deep, dark trauma. Like they don't have to have been kidnapped or something like that. Even small traumas leave us with scars. You know, you're nobody showing up to your birthday party when you're 10 or being bullied in seventh grade, that leaves us with scars. They don't have to be hugely traumatic, but everybody has something. I remember I had a character in a novella romantic comedy who was a stutterer whenever she got super nervous, and she had been bullied in school, and that was her deep emotional wound. So what that does is creates insecurities, which a lot of times are misbeliefs that we have, like the person who nobody shows up at their birthday party, maybe they believe nobody likes them or that they're just not popular or they can never have friends. So that kind of creates a misbelief that is also an insecurity, anxiety, or fear. So I think that they're kind of the same thing. A lot of times the insecurities that we have are totally not real, not I don't want to say not real, they're just not how other people see us. It's something that we've cooked up in our heads because of our deep emotional wounds. Half a Mo, good to see you here. So happy to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. And Trish asked me, what am I doing now that my book is finished? And yes, Fashionably Late is always awesome. So now the workbook is finished. I'm going to work on my novel, I think. And I'm also going to try to put out a few more videos per week. I don't think I will stick to the 2 video a week thing because once work picks up again, have less time to record. But I think I'm going to do some extra videos that I've been thinking about. So both writing my novel that I've been working on and putting out some more videos for the channel. Because I gotta tell you, channel takes a lot of time. It really does. It takes way more than it seems like. And nice, Gayla, on the revisions. I'm very happy with that. And look at these words you guys did. Silverali 216 and Heather 326. You guys are just killing it there. And hi, Cece. I totally slid over that when I was doing the comments. Sometimes I miss something. So I'm excited for whatever you guys are working on. If you have a question about what you're working on, please feel free to drop it in there. And Wendy's putting in her scene suggestions. Yes, so in the masterminds, I do give firm suggestions, I think sometimes, because I want people to really understand how to put it all together. And so in the mastermind, sometimes I'll write a section just to show you guys, because for me, it's easier to show than tell. Like it's easier for me to show people how I feel about them than tell them, those kinds of things. So when I'm teaching writing, I would much rather just show you exactly what I mean. And Half a Mo, do I ever sleep? I don't sleep well, but that's partly menopause, I think, because I'm old. and but no, I don't sleep a whole lot, and I do work an awful lot. But I love what I do, so it's easy. Okay, so since we don't have any other questions, let's move on to another 15 minutes, and I'm gonna pull up my book because I'm super excited about that and get to work on that. I don't even think I worked so little on it last week. I don't think I really remember it very well. Trying to pull down my timer and it's not working because, technology. All right. So let's go ahead and do another 15 minutes and let me know if you have a question. Awesome, guys. Hopefully, you guys all wrote while we were doing the 15 minutes. I actually opened a different book just because there was one that I've been thinking about and kind of thinking about what I'm going to do with next. And then I realized I haven't worked on it in so long that I don't remember what happens next. So, Half a Mo asked, how do you deal with sporadically coming back to your novel? Which is exactly what I'm doing. This is a real problem for me. A couple of major things constantly disrupting. That is me. For a while there, I was able to work on it every single day. And then my company got super busy and I was only working on it on Fridays. And then I had to, for like 3 months, I didn't work on it at all. I was still working on company work during our Friday live streams. So for me, it is challenging. It's definitely a challenge if you're coming back to your novel, just like every once in a while, sporadically, like you said. One of the things that I do is I keep a notepad in my room. And when I go to sleep at night, or when I'm supposed to be going to sleep at night and not sleeping, obviously, um, I'm thinking about the book. I'm kind of just like thinking about ideas that I had throughout the day, maybe something I saw on the news or on television or whatever. And so I can make notes so that I have a starting point to come back to, even if I'm only writing like a couple lines of dialogue or a small description of a place that's in the book. I do some kind of thinking about the book while I'm there. And so that kind of helps me when I come back. Now, I forgot my notebook today, so it's in my bedroom. It's not in my office. And so I don't have those notes in front of me that I had made, but I'll have those next week because I'll be having more writing time. Not next week, 2 weeks from now, I'll have more writing time. So it's tough. It is tough. You've got to do something that helps you think about it throughout. When my kids were little and I was running the house and running the kids and doing dinner and running my small company was much more of a baby back then. I would have a notebook everywhere I went, and I would take notes whenever I had a split second, or I would print out copies of the pages. I would print out the pages of my novel and work on them in spare moments so that I would get some kind of traction moving forward, because there's always like those 10 minutes you're waiting in the carpool lane, or waiting for the doctor, or watching the pasta boil. You get 8 minutes before the pasta's done. So that kind of thing, you can work on a couple of sentences in there and sort of just stay with it. That worked really, really well for me. I used to try to like talk into my phone or my recorder way back because I've been writing that long, um, and write that way, but I don't write verbally the same way that I write by hand. And so there was times when I would be driving and like scribbling without looking away from the road, and I couldn't, of course, read anything that I had written. Um, and yes, definitely connecting with it in some way will help quite a bit. So Raleigh, great job, 197 words, and I love the jotting down the notes. Yeah, I have like really cool notebooks I buy myself that are ridiculously expensive, because they're my notebooks, for my books, and so they're really cute and pretty, and that just kind of inspires me to use them more, and gives me excuse to buy office supplies. I have a ton of everything that's office supplies. It's ridiculous how many I have. Post-it notes and highlighters and pens and all of that stuff. Yeah, Gayla, I love fun notebooks too. There's a website called Levenger that is actually very expensive. I used to order from there, but then, Amazon came along and it was way cheaper. But Levenger has some really beautiful stuff. And if budget is not an issue, you can definitely go there. Yes, I wish everybody could get new notebooks. Maybe I should do, if I find a supplier, because I'm going to offer merch pretty soon on the channel. And if I find a supplier that can do it, maybe I'll, kind of have notebooks for that as well. So, yes, collecting stationery, I love doing that. I totally love all of that. Now, I am debating switching the live streams because these are on StreamYard right now. I'm debating switching the live streams to actually just the YouTube platform, and setting them up there instead of here on StreamYard, because it doesn't allow me to post it to other social media right now. Like, I don't know if StreamYard has an issue or what. So it's kind of not worth putting it there. And so I think I might try that with the one that comes up in 2 weeks, because again, we won't be meeting next week. And Half a Mo shipping to the UK, I have no idea. I've got to talk to my supplier of the merch. She's actually a writer friend of mine. So it's kind of cool because she'll, and Yeah. Oh, yes, Trish. Yeah, moving from house to car to house. When I did the master class on plotting, and we had this massive storm here, and my power went out, and it was just, oh, it was a nightmare. I kind of really want to re-record that and do it again, and I just might. But yes, I totally get it with storms moving in. We're not quite at that stage yet here in Florida, so stay safe, and hopefully it's not too bad and your power doesn't go out. So yes, I will talk to my supplier when we start working on these in another week or two and see if she'll ship international. I have no idea because she'll be the one that's fulfilling. So we'll see how that goes. Um, and yes, I want t-shirts too. Like I have the few that I have that say write a better book, but I want some other ones, and I'm having her design like coffee mugs and I think stemless wine glasses. I think I started with that t-shirts, stemless wine glasses, and coffee cups. I thought I had a fourth thing, but I don't remember. But I will talk to her about notebooks too, because I would want one. So awesome. All right, let's do another 15 minutes and see what we can get written there. All right. I hit the timer before I hit the music, but see you guys in 15 minutes. totally forgot to put the writing prompt back up. Sorry, guys. There's like 75 things to do all now. Um, and that was a great 15 minutes. I got to work on the other book. Oh, my ring light just died. So I've got a battery operated one because my plug-in one also died today. So the light will be a little bit damp. Let me see if a little bit damp. See if this light will work. It's not really the same as the ring light, but anyways, let's see what you guys were talking about. Can a heartbreak breakup be used as a character's deep emotional wound or not? It certainly can be, particularly in a romance, because you want to have some reason why the people don't fall in love, and you can have a really bad breakup that totally devastated somebody. So yes, you can use that. I would have another one though, not just that, because then again, you're just focusing on the love story and falling in love and not necessarily anything else that they need to overcome. So maybe they had a really bad breakup and their parents got divorced when they were 3 or something, and it was a vicious divorce. So there's two things that are preventing this person from falling in love. And yes, I love second chance romances. I've done a few of them, and they're really fun. I think I told you guys the story about Back to Mr. and Mrs. and how they translated it in Turkey. I'm not sure if I did or not, but so Back to Mr. and Mrs. is a really old book of mine, and it was about a husband and wife that had broken up, and they end up getting back together. It's a second chance romance. So I have a friend who did a paper on it for her master's degree in terms of how romances are translated in other countries, and that was published in Turkey. And in my version of it, he was like a really workaholic that was never there, and she had had a miscarriage and he wasn't there, and so she left him because of that, and she ran her own coffee shop. That's my version. The Turkish version, she worked in a cafeteria. She didn't own anything of her own. She was upset with her husband because he didn't have enough control in her life, and she really wanted another baby and he wouldn't give her one, and so it was a completely different story. And I don't have a lot of control over that because they translate the books to fit the morals and standards of that particular country. Just like in Spanish speaking countries, they don't use the word like virgin because of Virgin Mary and Catholicism and things like that, little small things. And there's certain countries where they'll take out any scenes that have bars or drinking in them. So that was really an interesting difference between them. And every once in a while I get a Google alert that somebody is using that paper for research because my name is in it. CC said no new pages today and hopefully working over the weekend. Yes, I might have to work over the weekend, even though it's a holiday here. And yes, there are deeper layers. Half a mo. And Trish wanted to know, can we have more prompts on developing external plot? Well, there will be a bunch of them in the workbook when that comes out. And maybe I'll think about that. I'll think about what we can do for the prompts for the future. You can always take some of them and turn them into an external, meaning like if you have this moment of success for your character, maybe you just write about the event itself rather than just the emotional part. And Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton, I think they were married like 2 or 3 times. So yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was a really volatile, toxic kind of relationship. So probably not the best to mirror a second chance romance on, but anyway, I do love them, and I do love people, getting back together. I've done a lot of those, particularly in small towns and things, because there's always some history there that you got to go through. I personally have never done a second chance romance in my life, but I've always, kind of imagined what it would be like to run into some of those people again, as a grown up or whatever. Anyways, I'm so grateful you guys joined me today. I'm not going to do a 4th one because it's been a really long week, and unfortunately I will not be here next week. So you guys will have to watch like a replay. So I'm really sorry about that, but I will see you in 2 weeks, which I don't even know what the date is, like maybe June 6th or something. What is that date? So I won't be here on the 31st, but I will be here on June 7th. So we may just do the live stream straight on YouTube. I'll have to look into how I do that. So thank you all for being here, and thank you for writing with me and allowing me to have some fun with my fiction. And just keep coming back to the channel and check out some of the videos, because there's always going to be something that you can learn. And I love making them because I love teaching you guys and then reminding myself how to do these things. So thank you. Have a great weekend. And if you're in the US, have a great holiday weekend.